What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another Walking Dead video for today. This one, we're going to be doing 10 things that I like about The Walking Dead Season 8, since this is, one of the more hated seasons, or at least one of the most disliked seasons of The Walking Dead series. Not too much for me, but I know for a lot of people, they don't like this season all that much. So we're going to go ahead and do 10 things I like about The Walking Dead Season 8. Okay, guys, so this is going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today. Of course, this one we're going to be doing 10 things I like about The Walking Dead Season 8. Now, if you guys want me to do a more negative video on this topic, and you guys want me to do 10 things I hate about The Walking Dead Season 8, I can definitely find some things I don't like about this season as well. And I'm sure you guys will probably know what the number one spot is going to be for that video, at least. But, it's pretty obvious, the big kind of moment of Season 8 that just screwed up the whole season for a lot of people. So, okay, now, this season, now, I know a lot of people think Season 8 is worse than Season 7. I highly disagree. I think this season is way more entertaining and way more eventful than Season 7. I think Season 8, honestly, I get the hate Season 8 gets, but honestly, at the same time, Season 8 does have a lot of, really good moments and a lot of good scenes. And I really realized that while making this list. Now, this season has its flaws. It's one of the seasons that has the most flaws, I think, in the entire Walking Dead series. There's really no way of denying it. There are a lot of problems with this season, but I think once I read off these things, I think a lot of people may be like, oh well, yeah, these scenes are pretty good. They're very rewatchable, and there are some things about Season 8 that is very rewatchable, especially some of the top things on this list. Now, just before I get into the list, I do want to say as well, I want to give a shout out to Undead Survivor, a really great friend of mine here on YouTube. I want to give him a shout out for sure. He gave me a shout out on his video just the other day, and I want to give one back to him, and he's got some great videos. I've been subscribed to him for a long time anyway, and he has some great Walking Dead content, and honestly, just some great videos itself. His videos are very entertaining to watch, I gotta admit. He's got some great videos, and I consider him a very good friend at this point after just everything he's really done for this channel. I really want to say a huge thank you to Undead Survivor for giving me a shout out, and I want to give him a shout out as well. So if you're looking for some great content, some great videos, go check out his channel, Undead Survivor. He's got some really cool kind of videos. I mean, honestly, he does a lot of things for when he hits a certain amount of subscribers. He's done some pretty incredible stuff, and honestly, I really have fun with a lot of his videos that he does. His videos are very entertaining to watch, and yeah, if anybody else wants to see any of his videos, Undead Survivor, I'll leave a link to his YouTube channel in the description, and yeah, anyway, figured I'd do that real quick. So, number 10. So, getting into this list, now, I know maybe some people have, a list as well they want to kind of leave in the comment section below. You guys can go ahead and do that as well. But without further ado, let's get to the number 10 spot. Coming in at number 10 is going to be the attack on the Sanctuary in Season 8, Episode 1. I like this scene a lot. I think this is really what makes the premiere so exciting, is really the attack. And I love the scene when Rick counts from 10, 9, 8, 7, and then he's like, screw this, I'm just going to shoot him. But I know a lot of people say, why didn't Rick just shoot Negan at first? Negan was right there. Why didn't he just do it as soon as he came out? The thing is that Rick still, after all this time, tried to give the other Saviors a deal to kind of survive this whole thing. It didn't work, and then that's when he started firing at Negan and the Saviors. Now, honestly, I think this attack is definitely very kind of, maybe underwhelming for a lot of people, because I feel like in the comics it was so much better. But I have to say, I still like this attack. Now, I'm going to put it at number 10 because I feel like maybe it could have been a little bit better, but I like the way they did it. I think it was really good, and I think this episode, Season 8, Episode 1, is a very underrated premiere, to be honest. I think they really did a good job. I know some people don't like how they play with time and stuff, but I love the attack on the Sanctuary and just that whole scene. Really entertaining. Rick certainly getting his revenge. Minus not actually killing Negan, which is, very unfortunate for him. But, yeah, I absolutely love it. Number 9 is going to be Carl saving the group in Season 8, Episode 8, the mid-season finale. Now, what I'm talking about is when, basically, Carl makes Daryl and the others leave, and he basically distracts Negan on his own. I mean, what a heroic moment. What a heroic thing for Carl to do before he goes out, to distract Negan so everybody else can get out. Dwight is out there making sure that everything goes wrong with the cars instead of blocking it with the trucks. So Dwight's doing his part. They go through, it's perfect. And Carl really has a moment moment with Negan. You know, was that just a play? I thought we were having a moment, you know? I love that. I love that whole moment. It was incredible, honestly. And Carl definitely died as hero, and even though I don't think he really deserved to die, I don't think Carl ever needed to die. If he was going to, if they had really no choice, or Gimple just thought that was the right decision, then, you know, I mean, good job of at least making Carl, you know, a hero in that scene. So, yeah, number 8 is going to be Rick and Daryl chase down the Saviors in Season 8, Episode 8, or Season 8, Episode 4, sorry. This was an amazing scene. I know so many people are like, oh, this scene wasn't well done. Why did Daryl just all of a sudden come out of nowhere and shoot the guy off? Listen, I don't care if it was maybe a little unrealistic that Daryl would pop back up and get, but I mean, it's Daryl. He rides motorcycles all the time, you know? I know so many people complain about how this scene was done. I don't understand it. I think this scene was honestly awesome. It was exciting, and honestly, I can watch this scene over and over again. I mean, honestly, seeing Rick and Daryl versus these two Saviors, yeah, honestly, it's entertaining. I love how they did it, and I love the suspense. I love the music. Everything about it is just wonderful. Number 7 is going to be just simply a bit of Negan's backstory. So I put this in this list mainly because I feel like this was a really necessary part of the story to find out, and that you can kind of connect the dots. They didn't say it. Negan didn't say it, but you can kind of connect the dots on your own, even if you're not a comic reader. Okay, his wife was probably called Lucille because, you know, Gabriel's like, was there a first? And he's like, Lucille, give me strength. So it's like, you know, you can kind of tell that, you know, you can kind of connect the dots. But I really like Negan's story to Gabriel, how he couldn't put her down. He lied to her. He screwed around on her and stuff like that. I really like that. I think that was a really good kind of, you know, backstory. Sure, could have we seen more? Could we see like a flashback episode of Here's Negan? I mean, I've been asking for that for a long time. I feel like it's so overdue now that they won't do it. I feel like it's too late now. But at the same time, if they ever did want to do it, I don't care how late it is. Honestly, I would still watch it. I would still review a flashback episode of Here's Negan. I think it's an amazing concept, and I've always wanted to see that in live action in the TV series version played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So yeah, really, really cool stuff. So yeah, number 7, Negan backstory. Coming in at number 6 is going to be Dwight. So the reason why I put Dwight at number 6 is because this is really the season that really kind of improved his character, that really redeemed his character. And without this season, I think a lot of people would have still hated Dwight, because I don't feel like Season 7 did it justice enough. I feel like Season 8 really, once you saw those first few episodes of Season 8, you're like, okay, Dwight is fully on board with Rick and the others, and he really is trying his best to get as much information as he can. He's trying his best to take out Negan, you know, the second he gets the opportunity, and I really like Dwight in Season 8. I think he's really, really good, and he's really smart in this season, too. You know, he really tries his best to really make sure that what he does is not reckless and stupid, you know? Because I feel like other characters like Daryl, Tara, and others, you know, I feel like they're so reckless this season. And then characters like Dwight are a good example of kind of trying to make sure that Rick and the others win, but doing it in a smart fashion. I think in Season 8, I'm sorry to say, I know for the Daryl fans this will really get people upset, and I'm a Daryl fan too, but I'm still going to say it. I think Dwight was a smarter character in Season 8 than Daryl was. I think Dwight made smarter decisions than Daryl did in Season 8. I think a lot of people can probably agree with that. Dwight really had a more kind of just way of thinking that was a lot better and a lot more chilled out, you know, and I really liked it. So number 5 is going to be the soundtrack. Oh my god, the soundtrack in Season 8. I'm sorry, I know so many people don't like this season, but the soundtrack is incredible in Season 8. I love the soundtrack they use when they're attacking the Sanctuary, but the main one that really makes this on the list, listen to the soundtrack again of Season 8, Episode 8, the mid-season finale. When they're in the sewers, and you have that music when they're walking in the sewers and seeing who's alive, I love the soundtrack in that scene. It is wonderful. It's like perfectly there. It's perfectly placed, and it's perfectly just perfect, you know? I love it. I think it's amazing. And then the soundtrack in the Season 8 finale as well, the banjo type background type music, I love that as well. Really great music. Some of the action music soundtrack is really great in this season as well, and they just do a wonderful job with this season of like just the soundtrack and everything. The soundtrack when Rick and Daryl are fighting, really exciting. They've really got some great music this season. You know, it's kind of unfortunate that the war was so, you know, watered down in the TV series version, because man, that soundtrack went perfectly with what they were doing, to be honest. So anyway, you know, which doesn't apply to the trailer of this season, that's for sure. So anyway, at least that's my opinion. You guys know how I feel about the trailer. I think the trailer was just absolutely terrible this year. But yeah, anyway, number 5, the soundtrack of this season. Number 4 is going to be Rick's speech at the end of Season 8, Episode 16. I love this speech. It gives me the chills every time. And as a Rick fan and as Rick Rick being my favorite character. Maybe people won't understand why this is number 4 on my list, but Rick's speech after he beats Negan and he says, Negan's alive, his way of doing things is over, but anybody that can't live with that will pay the price. I promise you that. Like, just the way he says it, you know, and any person that would live in peace, who would find common ground, they're right too. This world is yours by right. And then I love how he's like, we are life, and that's death, and it's coming for us, you know, unless we stand together, you know, we go home, the work begins, and then the best part, the new world begins. I love this, honestly. And then he even talks about what Carl was saying, you know, all this is what is just what was, but there's got to be something after. Scenes like this is why Rick is my favorite character, honestly. This dude gives me the chills in almost every speech he gives, honestly. I think Rick is the best, honestly. I'm sorry, but anybody out there that hates Rick or that doesn't like Rick or anything like that, plead your case, because I'm not going to agree with you. I'm never going to agree with that at all. I can't understand anybody, and I've seen so many Rick haters out there, and I don't get it. I don't get it. He's awesome. He does everything for his people. He puts everybody before himself, and honestly, I love it. I think Rick is awesome. So, anyway, number 4, Rick's speech, absolutely. Number 3 is actually this one of the same things I included in 10 Things I Like About Season 7. This is returning for 10 Things I Like About Season 8, and that is Simon. So, same thing with Season 7. This time, I think Simon was actually number 3 or number 4 in the Season 7 list as well. But anyway, this is an amazing character. I mean, Simon, he really is kind of the main villain of this season, a lot of people kind of point out, because Negan kind of is more chilled out this season than maybe he should have been, as a lot of people are saying, but Simon really steps up in this season and really becomes a very important character. So definitely, I'm not going to talk about it too much because I talked about it a lot in the Season 7 video, but he is awesome this season, and I still can't believe they killed him off, honestly. But I get it. I get why they did it. I get why they killed him off. But at the same time, man, what a sad episode to see him go, to be honest, because he was awesome. As much as maybe some people hated how he went against Negan and stuff, I didn't like it either. I'm Team Negan, but I still liked Simon. I still like his character, and you know, I don't know. I'm just saying. I think Simon was a very, very awesome character for the show, and honestly, Simon leading the Saviors and forced to kind of surrender to Rick and the others in Season 9, he really could have been that Jed character from Season 9. You know, if they kept him around. And I feel like there was still hope for that to happen, but they didn't take it, unfortunately. So, I don't know. Still really cool, though. So, yeah, number 3, Simon. Coming in at number 2 is going to be The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 13, Battle Sequence. So, I love this. I mean, honestly, the tension... Talking about soundtrack, like we said earlier, the soundtrack in this, the music, Daryl on the bike, the bus crushing in and, you know, cornering the Saviors into the hilltop. And, I mean, Simon being reckless, thinking Tara's gonna die at one point, taking that comic moment when Rick gets shot, because if you guys didn't know, in the comics, Rick's the one that gets shot by a clean arrow by Dwight. In the TV show, they did Tara, which I think was a little lesser kind of importance, you know, because it's Tara and not Rick. But, you know, I still loved it. And I love when the lights turn on and then Rick and them just come right for Simon and the Saviors. Absolutely incredible, and I just love it, you know. We must expunge them, you know. Speaking of Simon, I mean, honestly, he's got some great speeches as well, kind of every once in a while. So anyway, yeah. And then the number 1 best thing, you guys ready for it? The number 1 best thing about The Walking Dead Season 8, I have a feeling a lot of people, they're going to agree. I cannot see who would disagree with this. The number 1 best thing about Season 8 is Rick versus Negan. I mean, honestly, wow. Honestly, I mean... They have a couple skirmishes, you know, let's not forget that. They have Season 8, Episode 8 in the house, which was really good when Rick gets thrown out the window, so obviously now this time it's Rick's turn to get thrown out a window, as a lot of people say. And then, of course, Season 8, Episode 12, The Key, that was the best fight they ever had. Lighting Lucille on fire, I mean, throwing the axe, and then Negan's like, oh, I lost Lucille, you know, like, I love that. And then, of course, now, there is one more fight with them this season, which is a little lackluster, which is the one where they almost talk more than they fight in the Season 8 finale. But, and that was one of the most disappointing things about the Season 8 finale. But, Rick versus Negan, the main one that applies here is Season 8, Episode 12. I just love their fight. I love the chase scene. I love everything about it. I love how Simon almost wants Rick to kill Negan. You know, he almost wants to let, you know, Rick just take care of Negan, you know, so Simon can take over the Saviors and maybe try to leave or something like Simon wants to do. And I don't know, I absolutely love just everything Rick versus Negan. I love, you use people, bring you food, to sleep with you, to protect you, you know? And he's like, the only thing you care about is this bat. And then you just get the look on Negan's face like, what? Like, you have Lucille, like, oh my god, and then he just loses it. He's like, don't you touch her, you know? And Rick is not even scared of him. He wants Negan mad. He's like, come get her, you know, and he starts beating down the door thing or whatever. I love it. I think it's awesome. And as soon as Lucio was on fire, okay, I'm like, okay, this is the best moment of this entire season, you know? Absolutely. So, write your comments in the comment section below. I mean, I make the season sound so good when I name off these things, you know? But if you guys want me to do the opposite and say that, you know, the 10 things I hate about Season 8, we will do that as well. And you know what? I may even try to do this for Season 9 as well, but I don't know if I can do 10 things I hate about Season 9. I don't know. I could maybe find a couple things, but Season 9, in my opinion, is the best work they've ever done. So I don't know if I'll be able to find 10 things I hate about Season 9. That's going to be a tough one. So if you guys want me to struggle with that and really want me to try to see if I can find 10 things I don't like about Season 9, it's going to be tough, but I may be able to do it. We'll have to see. So anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Write your comments in the comment section below. If you're new here, guys, click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my Walking Dead videos. Follow Dan's Walking Dead reviews on Instagram, guys. And of course, while we're at it, subscribe to, of course, Undead Survivor on YouTube, of course. Thank you very much for the shout out, man. And of course, I will see you guys really soon for another Walking Dead video. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
Anybody out there?